So what am I doing today?
Today my wife Haley Rawlings is going to teach you or show you how to paint. You can follow along, do what you want, and she's using this little canvas and some acrylic paint.
Hi guys, so I'm here today in my paint shirt. If you are going to paint along and you're a messy painter like me, you might want to consider getting one of these or making one of these. It definitely comes in handy. As you can see, it has paint just about all over it. But I'm really excited to do this and try it. I feel a little bit awkward. I'm not used to being video recorded, so it's a little bit different, but I'm excited to try something new, and I have some fun ideas in mind for today. So I had a really hard time deciding what I wanted to paint. I got a lot of feedback, which was really helpful. As I went through the Instagram question and on Facebook, a lot of people asked for flowers. And some of them were more specific, like sunflowers, flowers like that people had for their weddings, and then flowers on animals, stuff like that. But overall, the biggest theme was just people wanted flowers, which I'm not actually that surprised, since that is kind of what I lean to the most and enjoy doing the most. So today I plan to just do some like big blooms, some random florals, and I'm really excited to see if people actually try it or if they just want to watch it because they're bored during the pandemic, which is fine too. But so for today, I've already started with this canvas. I painted it beforehand, but I'll just kind of explain how to do it. It's really easy. So I used this China blue, which I love. It's just light and airy. And I put some on. I laid this canvas flat, and then I put some white paint on as well. And I got my paintbrush a little bit wet and just kind of spread it all over. Just a little bit wet. Just kind of helps the paint go farther. And I was really wanting more of a light color. So as you paint along, I hope that you'll use whatever colors you want. I know I'm going to pick some bright colors for my florals, just because that's kind of my style and just what I kind of lean to. But if you decide to try something else, I'll be really excited to see it, and it'll be cute anyway. The main colors that I will be using are this blue for the background, white, black. I'll probably use some pinks, orange, like any colors like that. If those are colors that you don't have, that's okay. You can just swap them out for something else and try some other colors that you think would look nice together. So like I said before, I'm going to go in just with a pencil and kind of outline where I'm going to want things. I know I just want to do some big blooms that have some big color, and that are just bright but also fluffy. And then in between some of those, I'll definitely want to do some greenery, but I think for today I'll also try to keep things just a little bit abstract. Right on in with some green on some of these leaves. I usually like to start with them first anyway, just because they will be easier to paint over, because I probably want my blooms to be the top. I do want these to be more abstract, so I'm probably just going to, also there's going to be a little jar right here, which I just drew out kind of a little rectangle. I'm going to put some green in there as well, because there will be some stems in your jar, and also some leaves right off the side of that. So I'm just going to put some of this green. This color that I'm using right now is marsh green. It's just really cute. I'm using it right out of the jar because I'm probably going to mix some other colors in with it eventually. You can also mix some white to change the color of your green. I'm going to go ahead and bring in this lighter color. It's Lime Sherbet. It's so cute and it's so bright. I end up using it a lot, but I'm going to kind of mix it in a lot of these greens. That's why I think it's important to kind of draw out what you want ahead of time, so that when you are getting started, you know where you want things to be. It helps for sure. But yeah, just sticking with the leaves for now. Okay, so next I'm going to come in with this color. It's called Bahama Blue. And I'm going to put some of that in my jar. Oh my gosh, I love this color. It's almost gone because I love it so much. But it's just really bright and pretty. So bring that in with some of my greens. I'm also going to do something a little bit different. And I'm also going to bring some into some of my leaves, even though leaves are green. Today they aren't all going to be. And also, if you decide you don't want blue in yours, that's okay too. So you're kind of just mixing some dark things, some light colors, some greens, some blues, all together to make these leaves. And you can choose. And also based on what colors you have, if you have green and you have black and white, you can make as many different greens as you want just by mixing some of those together. Some people use a paper plate. You could probably even just use a thick piece of paper, whatever you have at your house that would work for you. But also the dollar store sells little paint mixing things. You can get them for $1. They look like this. But those are really helpful too if you need to mix new colors. I think it's like $1 for like 6 or 8 of them, which is pretty decent. So we're gonna fill a lot of space with these blooms, so don't worry so much about the dead space yet, because it will look a lot fuller when those are all out and in their full shape. So I'm adding just another little blue in here. But any blue that you have will be fine. You could even do this vase a solid blue, but I just can't resist mixing some different colors in there. It's just so pretty, so cute. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that blue all the way around. And then I'm going to go back in with some green, because I think there's definitely got to be a balance of both. And afterwards, the last color that I'll use is actually white. Okay, so while those leaves are drying, I'm using a brush just about this size. I'm gonna dip it into some orange. I like to mix my paint on the canvas, so I feel like I waste less paint that way. But you can get other colors off the page and bring them on later. I just like to be able to just start putting the color in, putting color down, getting some brightness, getting an idea of what it will look like when it's done. And I'm not going to put orange on all of these. I'm just going to put them kind of around on a couple and see what it looks like. Maybe just these two. Or maybe this little one will have some too. And then since I just put that orange on, it will stay pretty wet for a minute. But I'm gonna go ahead and mix in a little bit of pink. You can use whatever pink you've got, but I'm gonna go for a little bit of a darker pink. Not really neon, just bright. Mix some of that in while it's still wet so you can get some of that shape. Get some mixture of those colors. And just experiment, just blend it how you want. Okay, so because that candy apple red, or yeah, candy apple is so dark, I'm gonna bring in a little more light pink. Oh, got a little clump. Bring some of that back in here. Get it kind of fluffy. Just bring some of this purple back into some of these over here. And I would like to do like a much darker purple on this one. I'm gonna bring all the way up to the top of the canvas. I just don't like things painted to the edge only. I think it looks weird. I'm also not a big fan of framing my canvases just because I love to see all the way to the edge. Some people are different and like to frame these, which is totally fine. Like it was just a preference thing, I think. Okay, then I'm gonna go back in with some more white. Just get things a little bit brighter. So I'll take a little break from the flowers, let them dry a little bit because they do get so wet. It's a lot of layers of paint. But then I'll just, as I'm like touching it up still, can't stop. Then I'll go back to my leaves. Definitely gonna put more blue in some of these. And just add a couple more details. I decided to expand the vase out. I just put in some blue lines, green lines, just like we did before, and I've also added some more white lines to the left and some black. And then I've decided to give this vase a little more shape. I'm going to fill in these flowers over here, we'll leave this blue. I just think the more I looked at the size, the more that made sense to me. So we're going to keep adding those flowers on the sides, just like we have been, and getting the bouquet a little bit more full. Makes it look a little bit sharper to sometimes get those little pointed black lines in there. Gonna go ahead and add a dot in a couple of these so we can see where kind of the middle is. Then you're going to keep continuing those flowers around this side. But first I'm going to go in with a little more white. Get some of those white details back in. I'm going to go in with some tiny dots now. So just like those other flowers, I'll take these and just kind of swipe them around. That's how you're going to do all of these flowers, just by doing some big motions like this. You can mix in whatever colors you want, but you might have to wait in between for things to dry, or you could start mixing lots of colors together that don't look good. Like this yellow and red and white together, they end up making not a very cute color when they're getting mixed together with pink and purple. You can get kind of gray and brown. So you're going to want to just mix them the best that you can on the canvas, but also it's okay if you have to take a break for things to dry. It's just kind of, I really like to get some variety in the color. I'm going to go ahead and fill in some of these gaps just with more leaf texture. I'm trying not to get over top of those flowers too much, but if we do, that's okay. It just takes one sweep of a color to kind of cover it back up. Just as I was wrapping up this video, I was moving my canvas over so that I could take this video, and my painting fell off the easel onto my face. So my husband and I thought it was so funny and should definitely be in the video. If only I had been recording that part. But so when you move yours, you might just want to make sure that it's dry or secure at the top. I really enjoyed making this video and this painting. It was supposed to be my beginner's painting, but after I started I realized it was going to be a lot more time consuming and had a lot more complex elements than I expected. So this will probably be my intermediate level video, but hopefully I'll also make some sort of beginner's video for people who are newer to painting and would be a little bit overwhelmed by this. But I just hope that if you did paint along or if you were just watching that you had fun, because I definitely did, and I look forward to trying it again.